Good morning. My name is Gilles BianRosa, and I run a company called Fanhattan. And so what I want to talk about this morning is essentially some of the themes that have been brought up quite a few times over the last 2 days. It's kind of the conversion of entertainment, so movies and TV shows, and connected devices. And so ever since smartphones and iPads and smart TVs have started to kind of invade our lives, we've also had a lot of choices now to watch movies and TV shows on those devices. And whether if you live in the US, for example, you can get movies and TV shows coming from telecom operators, cable networks, studios directly, internet companies like Netflix and others. And the challenge is if you're a consumer and you've been used to sort of a very typical television experience where you just turn the TV on. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to keep this live here. So if I want to catch up with the last episode of my favorite TV show, where do I go? What's the sort of the main app where I could basically search or browse for a TV show? So that's kind of, it's called connected devices, but this is kind of a disconnected experience. And here you kind of look at a picture of content which is a little bit balkanized, right? With a lot of like different movies and TV shows scattered across all those different apps. So instead, as a consumer, we launched a company called Fanhattan, which is a service that you can, an app you can download for free on the iPad in the US today, and I'll talk about Europe in a minute. Instead, I'm going to launch Fanhattan and say I want to catch up on, on one of my favorite TV shows, for example. So here, as you can see, we put content first. It's not an app-driven discovery experience. It's a content-driven discovery. So let's say I want to watch the last episode of something like an ABC show. So I'm going to do one thing, though, first is because it's a service that runs in the US, I'm going to sort of tell my iPad that I am in the US, which is something I'm doing right here. Okay, well, hopefully it's going to work. But essentially, so I'm going to watch a TV show, and so let's say I want to catch up with the last episode of, for example, Modern Family, which is a pretty popular show in the US. So here, as you can see, I'm browsing a series of TV shows, and the sources for different episodes show up right here. So I have a choice, between ABC. If I want to watch it ad-supported, I can subscribe to Hulu, or I can buy it from iTunes. And so the idea is, well, as a consumer, I want to catch up on the last episodes. It's on ABC with ads, so I might as well just watch this. And so here, what we're doing is we're launching the ABC player, which is an app on the iPad, and launching the TV show right here. Challenge is because I'm in France, I can't really have the playback running, but you have to trust me on this one, it works really well. If I was in my own country, which is the US, besides the accent, that actually is where I'm from. So the first use case is, finding really quickly the last episodes of the TV show I want to watch. Now, let's say I actually don't know really what I want to watch, or I want to sort of discover something new. So let's go into movies for a change. So again, the idea is to create a very immersive experience here. So ways you can discover movies would be sort of checking out, top lists, algorithms, hot, new, etc. I can log into to my Facebook account, and then from here, importing all of the data that my friends have been engaging with related to movies and TV shows without really having to without having to go into the Facebook app, right? So here I'm still in Fanhattan, and I can check out all the movies that have been recently liked by my friends. They don't have to have Fanhattan, they just have to be on Facebook, which means that immediately I get a lot of input from my friends in terms of what movies and TV shows to watch. I can check out my friends list here and sort of, see what kind of movies they liked. It's a football season in the US, so I can also sort of get some, editorial kind of content, which is in that case, related to football. Let's say I want to sort of check out on a list of hot movies, which is basically a blend of hot movies across all the different services, iTunes, Netflix, Hulu, ABC, etc. And so here I've got a very consistent experience, whether the movie is coming from Netflix or from iTunes. Let's say I want to watch or learn about Iron Man 2. So I've got the same sort of nice set of options organized here. If I want even more services, I can sort of check out all those services that we integrate with so that the service is personalized to the services I like to use. But more importantly, it's about inspiration, right? It's about feeling like an exciting experience, like going to the movie theater. So we create an experience which we think is, very exciting and very immersive, very visual. I can check out the different reviews by sort of pulling content from different apps. But the great thing here is I don't have to leave Fanhattan. I can check everything about Iron Man 2 without sort of launching 15 different apps. I can change the review service to use Metacritic instead. I can check out the Facebook post for Iron Man 2. I can check out the Twitter handle for Iron Man 2. I can check out the cast and crew and, for example, see, check out what Gwyneth Paltrow, for example, and sort of see what movies she's in. So first of all, I can get her bio. I can check out her different pictures. I can now pivot and say, okay, show me everything that Gwyneth Paltrow has been in, right? And now I'm sort of browsing sort of her entire filmography. And because it's kind of 360 degrees, right? It covers movies in theaters. It actually covers movies that are not yet in theaters, all the way to movies that are 60 or more year olds. So as a consumer, I don't have to figure out this concept that Hollywood has created around licensing windows, which means that movies move from one window to another. I can see all her clips. I can see the movie premieres, etc. I can even follow her on Twitter. So going back to Iron Man, I can also check out all the clips, not just the trailer. And if you use iTunes or other services like this, those are content stores. And content stores are driven by one thing, which is sort of sell you the content. So as a consumer, mostly what I can do on iTunes is buy or rent or watch a trailer. Here on Fanhattan, it's about being a fan of the content itself. So if I want to see all the clips from Iron Man, I can check all of them right here and just hit play and integrate with YouTube in that case, and learn about the movie without leaving the app. If I really like the movie, I can even listen to the soundtrack right here by literally sort of either buying the song or getting a preview by just hitting play without leaving the app. It's a very immersive experience. It's kind of putting the content first. If I even still really like the movie, I can download all the related content. So now if you're a studio and you're building, you're building franchises, right? Iron Man is a franchise. And so you're creating assets across different windows, comic books, games, etc. So the idea is to bring all those assets together across different platforms. So as a consumer, if I like Iron Man as a brand, I can basically discover everything around Iron Man into one app. So here in that case, we basically pull all the different sort of apps that are on the iPad that are related to Iron Man. And even more so, if I'm really a big fan, I can get posters, toys. So let's see here. Maybe I want to get the muscle costume. That sounds really cool. $24. So essentially, the idea here is to put content discovery by bringing the content first and letting consumers kind of immerse themselves in kind of movies and TV shows, worrying about what they want to watch first as opposed to where they're going to find the content. So this is the iPad app. We launched it a few months ago in the US. It got great reviews and a lot of consumer traction. One of the sneak peeks I want to show you really quickly is that we're introducing a new client, which is now running on the iPhone. So I'll just very quickly here you go. So very similar experience on the iPhone. So obviously the iPhone, slightly different use case. Most people use it to catch up on TV shows. But it's also about being on the go and checking out movies you may want to watch in theaters. So in those cases, we integrate with showtimes, etc. So that's kind of what we're doing. We've launched in the US a few months ago. We are going to be launching in Europe in Q1 of next year, and we're really excited about that. Thank you.